brought you back as promised. Struggling. It's trying to rain here and there. But what I did is I wrapped that string 2 times on the lower ones just around it, and 3 times on that very top one. I just kind of opened the strings and let it hold it. You can see on the back side I cut all that other stuff out. Alright, it's even throwing some yellow ones here with the mix. Cool. They don't look too great. I'm gonna let some of these ripen on the vine. I got a few in here. Little ones are going and producing really, really good. If you want tomatoes every day, sure. Like to have a few big ones. Only got a few of those, so still need to come on up. You can see still need to come on up a little bit with the string, maybe like one more time, and then it's just gonna they'll have to lay over. I'm not gonna do nothing else. I don't think they're gonna do that great after this. I tied all this up. Those look really good. I put a barrier between this way and this way, just cobbled, weaved, however you want to do it. You know, it looks like, I don't know. Got one bigger one in there. Caterpillars really like those for whatever reason. But they're trying to bend over. You know, like I say, got 1 or 2 in there. Got one, I think it's about that big on that one. Yeah, right there it is. So, if the caterpillars don't eat it, hopefully they'd get on the little ones, you know. There's a lot more of those. See, I got a few big ones left if they can pan out. If they can pan out. You know what I mean? I thought I had 2 of those. I probably picked that other one yesterday. Dogs might have got it. Something could have got it. But there was 2 on that one. I know it. Anywho, we got out here and played with the truck a little bit. Do a little progress report on it too. Just trying to stay busy here. I got some of that deep spray. Deep woods. You know, they don't seem like they're bothering me. I got a few on me after that, but I mean, it ain't like they're just trying to swarm me. You know what I mean? So, look over my mess here. Got the front of it off. I don't know why it keeps doing that. It keeps kind of going dark. Sorry about that. Keeps kind of going dark. I got this off. Got the transmission lines fighting me for now. And I was able to get the power steering pump off. And I got all this rest of this out. And just mainly fighting me on the transmission lines. I gotta get that radiator out. Get the radiator out. And I might try to get this motor mount bolt out. That's probably going to be a day, to be quite honest. Still got a lot of stuff to do today. Just kind of finish up for the day. It's getting dark at like 8 o'clock. So I don't want to drag my airline down and stuff. It's been hitting and missing on the rain. Said could be a little bit here and there. So, but right there's the power steering pump. We got it off. Got headlights out. We did a lot. I was afraid that wasp nest was going to be a bunch. We're just going to let some of those lines. I got that one loose. It's like a loose tooth. It's almost there. So, and then the other one, it's pretty stuck. I don't know. It was leaking. Me and Andy, my buddy, he passed away here. We were working on it. And it kept doing something funny. I can't remember what we did to tighten it up, but whatever we did to it, it was like dripping a little bit or something. And then it, right there, that line right there, it was dripping. And I had another radiator, and then, you know, I got some parts off of him too. So, I don't know, it's just kind of fouled in there pretty tight. I gotta have that radiator with the transmission lines that's gonna be going to the radiator and the transmission, obviously. So, gotta have that. But put those electric fans on there somehow. I got some of those push buttons so we can just kind of put the electric fans from that motor on it. and see where we're at. I was talking about that distributor being to the back of that. I'm looking at that like, man, that's not a distributor. That's a power steering pump. So that's a power steering pump on the back of that. I was like, well, yeah, it's got a distributor cap plug. No. It's got cool packs. All that jazz. So we just have to figure it out from there and see what's up. But I'm just gonna keep plugging along on it. We'll just keep pulling stuff off and putting stuff on. You know, we still got manifold bolts, 2 motor mount bolts, bell housing bolts, pull starter, and then the 3 torque converter bolts. And then I can't remember how I got it out really super slick, but I remember Sam brought the forklift over on it and we got it in there really quick. We had about 4 or 5 people. I had it down there. He was going to put a motor in it because I was doing something at the time, helping a friend out of town, and just couldn't get to me fast enough, and I needed it. So I had to put a oil dipstick tube in it. It broke it off, and then it was getting milky and stuff. So I think the head gasket was bad anyhow. So I just swapped it out with another motor. I got that motor off of Andy down there. Him and his dad both passed away. So we're making progress. I'm just now got everything settled up with far as bug control. I feel good about it now. We got our washer out there. It's making a lot of noise. To try to balance it up, see if it quit smacking so hard. It's just no junker. Something's better than nothing sometimes. That's just kind of the way we're looking at it right now. So it is what it is. Hopefully, maybe tomorrow I'll get out here and be a little cooler. It's supposed to only be in the 70s. It's supposed to be nice and cool in the morning time. Like I say, I get done doing what I'm doing. I got to cook me something to eat or whatever, so might wake up early. Got woke up 4:30 this morning, so I've been up since. Probably in the bed pretty soon, hopefully. But I still got some stuff. I pulled my blanket down, you know, that thing. Jesus Christ, it looked like a hotel. It looked like a hotel, it just looked like something out of a hotel room. Hotel bedspread that had bed bugs on it. Keeping it PG here, I'm sorry. Yeah, so it kind of looked like a rag that you kick around in the shower too many times. So I had to get it washed up. I got to put it back up. You know, it keeps all the bugs out in the nighttime and stuff. So when you try to open the door. And we're just going to keep doing what we got to do. I got to wash up some clothes and stuff. So while the weather's still good. But I'm going to try to get back out here. Hopefully get that thing out in a couple more days, maybe 2 or 3 days. It's going to take, you know, I got to wait on that socket. I'm not going to order it until I get that motor out. So the weather's been kind of hit and miss. It's a little gloomy here and there. It's a pretty day out. Feels good. It feels real good out. It's finally starting to cool down. But, you know, it's unseasonably. All the leaves are starting to fall off the tree already. So, I don't know. We might have a bad winter. I got to get a heater. I got to get me a 220 heater. And I got to work on my diesel heater. It needs gaskets and cleaned out and replace all the fuel lines on it and everything before I use it this year. So that'll take some work too. We can't get too involved. We got our motor plate. That was half the battle. So we got that to put together into that. Was looking at that motor. Might be able to do a couple motor mounts off the side of the block. It's got a spot here, like a four plate that's, you know, for a motor or something. It's got that motor mount to the front, but, you know, I don't know. I think it would be better with the motor up the sides. It's got one low enough to do this, and then it had like just like two holes on that side. It probably wouldn't hurt, because the way they had that up there, you know, look at that transmission mount that they had on it, you know, it might vibrate a little bit. So I don't know. We got to figure it up as we go. And then, heck, the way those lines come in for the heater box and stuff, it's pretty close to being the same thing. It's just going to be getting one of those Haynes manuals and chasing wires down and pulling pins. I've got all those pin connectors to pull the pins with. I do got that, but to put it back and make it look factory, you know, might have to cut it, and I got some butt connectors and some heat shrink to make sure it's beautiful. And we're just going to keep plugging along here. Like I say, I'm stuck on the transmission lines. I don't want to tear the radiator up when I go to pull that out. I have to get the motor up and then pull the truck backwards, and the Jeep's having problems charging or whatever. So I don't know what to do with it either. I poured the battery juice out and then just put water in it, recharge it. Sometimes it does good for a while, sometimes it won't. I had a buddy that owned a battery shop. He had a battery explode in his face. Dude, they thought he was blind there for a while. You know, he'll pop the caps. He gets in there and he arcs it to see if any of the plates are dead. You know, it's got an arc in there. Don't do that unless somebody knows what they're doing. He had one explode in his face, so it about costed him his eyes. You only get 2 sets. It did something to his cornea. I think he had to have a lens replacement on both eyes. I don't know what it was. It was a lot. It took him a while. You know, he was walking around with he couldn't see. So, and you know, he was a pretty good guy too. So, hated to see that happen to him. But that's the day. We made progress on a few things. I'm about wore out. I'm gonna just call it done for today, and like I say, maybe a couple, 2 or 3 more days, we'll get back cranking, getting everything. And I still gotta get a socket for the bell housing. I got a T50, but it ain't one of the square ones. We'll take a bell housing off that transmission, put our pieces on here, and then fit that bell housing up to the back of that motor. And then that way, once we get that bell housing on the back of it, we can grind it, do whatever we got to do. I still got to fit it a little bit more on that. I'll have to get some spray to clean out threads and blah, blah, blah. It's going to be a lot still to do all that. And we'll have to cut the exhaust about right there before it goes into the bend. And it'll come out enough, give us enough meat to where we can hook it up to our other one. Shouldn't be too bad. I don't think it'll be too bad. I mean, I could put a gas can right there in the front and move it around and stuff. I might be able to shift it on the column and just pull it down in like first gear, and then kind of come up through there, figure out what's the grounds to the solenoids on that shifting plate. But I got to get a 1/2-ton transfer case to do the 4-wheel drive on it. So I got a buddy. He said he's looking for one. He's like, man, if I find one, I'll just get it for you. It don't matter. You know, I've worked on his stuff plenty, and he's like, I got one out there. I just got to get it. You know, make sure it's okay, and get the shifting linkage and all that, and that way you can just hook it up. So shouldn't be too bad.